Hey, it's America's Supermom. Thank you for joining me on my podcast. This series is the Corona Chronicles. I created this so that we would have an outlet of positivity in the midst of a lot of negativity. You know what I'm talking about. All the news, the fear around this virus, how it can affect us, what the new normal is looking like, and how so many things have changed that a lot of people feel like um, it is the end of the world, so to speak. So, this podcast was created so that those of us who have hope, who are willing to move forward with this new normal and innovate new things that will help us to be creative and positive. That is what this platform is for us to come together and share that positivity and that light with those who may need it. So if you're interested in sharing your insight, please reach out because we can never have enough positive news. So sit back and enjoy the show.
I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I'm really excited about my next guest, Consuela Whitfield. We actually connected via Facebook, and I'm excited to hear her insight regarding fitness. Okay, this is a subject that I just can't seem to get enough of. Okay, because I need to be doing all kind of stuff because I've been on a seafood diet ever since this pandemic has hit. Everything I see, I have been eating. Okay, and then it's like doing everything but exercising. So I'm excited to kind of hear her um, thoughts on, what we can do to kind of begin to manage some of these things that might have turned into bad habits, staying up late, eating late, whatever. So at this time, I'm going to give Consuela the opportunity to introduce herself, and then we'll get started with our interview.
Hello, everyone. This is Consuela. I also, I do training, but I
Mm-hmm.
also do massage therapy. So I've really been
Oh.
focusing on lately.
Mm-hmm.
So my massage business is Atlanta Mobile Med Spa. It's a medical and
Mm.
therapeutic massage at your doorstep. I
Wow.
specialize in lymphatic drainage, lipo post surgery massage. So, Mobile Med Spa is a service that provides clinical and therapeutic massage service in the comfort of your own space. And what this does, it allows you to rest, recover, or just plain relax without the hassle of, coming out to a location in pain, discomfort, or fatigue from a long day's work. So I tie all of
Mm.
that into my training because, as you know, we're mind, body, and spirit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
all things come together. And if you neglect one part is kind of out of order. So
Mm-hmm.
everything I've done in my life has been and in the health and wellness industry.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Started out as really an athlete. That's where everything
Oh.
begun from there. A track and field and a gymnast. Did
Mm-hmm.
all the way through my college years and even after as a professional fitness and figure competitor.
Oh.
Um, yes, that's how I got into to that, and then I went to University of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went there for nursing school, and then I came to Atlanta to attend. It was Life College at the time, as you know, it's Life University now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got into the chiropractic side and the more natural side of things and the massage therapy.
Mm.
So from there, I always believed in business. So from there,
Mm-hmm.
opened a franchise and had closed that, but here I am now. So that's my bio in a little quick,
Yeah.
minute
That
or
is
so.
that is awesome. So definitely it seems like there would be quite a demand for uh mobile med spa right now. So is this something that you started, with this pandemic, or was it something that started before? How long has that been in place?
Well, I've been doing massage therapy and training for about 20 years now. Uh,
Oh.
right now, when I say just, I mean recently in the last week, I opened a location in the Stone Mountain Lilburn area.
Mhm.
It's very private location. So because of the pandemic, a lot of people don't want you in
Mhm.
their homes, and people are
Mhm.
iffy about that. So
Mhm.
I have this private location. There's this one little small waiting room and one therapy room. So that way, that gives people the privacy as well as the comfort, knowing that they don't have to be around people coming in and out of the building. So that's what I'm doing.
Mm. Mhm. Okay. Now, so talk to us about how you had to um reinvent yourself, so to speak. I mean, what modifications did you have to do in order for you to be able to thrive even during the pandemic? Because I think one, I would say everybody needs a massage. I'm saying from young to old, okay? I mean, this is really the time for something like this with being, in one location with your family and not really having that exercise or movement like you're used to. So, talk to us about what you've had to do to have
Uh,
something that is like an essential thing that needs to be done. Um, how do you modify that?
Absolutely, Lachelle. That's why I'm going more on the massage side right now because, as you know, with training things, the gyms are closed and people are apprehensive with that as well. Now, I still do
Mhm.
some training consulting and nutrition consulting, online. However, I
Mhm.
transition to more of the massage because, like you said, it's extremely needed right now because a
Mhm.
lot of people are stressed. A lot of people are more sedentary than they have ever been. We're already
Mhm.
a sedentary nation. So to add the
Mhm.
pandemic and the lockdowns and all that stuff into it, now we're really not getting any movement. And one thing, when you don't
Mhm.
get movement, you're not activating your lymphatic system, which is very important for removing waste and things like that out of your body.
Mm. Mhm.
So that's how I transition, because a lot of people, what I've seen, let's just face it, people are out of jobs, it's hard to come by.
Mhm.
Um, so it's very difficult to have the same lifestyle. You got to
Mhm.
cut back on your bills now because you're not making what you want now. But
Mhm.
so it's strange. God has me in this place where I'm still moving forward with business and just
Mhm.
transition a little bit more of what I do. So, um,
Mhm.
just another spiritual thing is that God, your gifts will make room, right?
Amen.
So
Mhm.
something that I may not have done as much of, I was still able to reach back there, pull that,
Mhm.
bring it. It's useful. So nothing is ever lost. It's always found.
Mhm.
So I just took that and he said, look, I need you to start I'm like in the middle of a pandemic, massage and medical massage and therapeutic massage. Are you serious right now? you know, and my money is tighter. He's like, yep, do it.
Hey,
But guess what?
and
I
look, if you
started
do
doing it.
medical,
Yeah,
if
yes.
you do medical, then you're getting paid from insurance, right?
Yes, yes. So you
Mhm.
do take some insurance in the form of reimbursement right now, though, at this time. But
Okay.
still, yes, I do have that in motion. But it's just weird. But he'd be making provision. I was like, I don't have that. Boom, that shows up. I don't have this. Boom, that shows up.
Right.
So that's
And
how I was able to reinvent myself. Just really courage and the faith to step out there and do
mhm.
what God told me to do.
That's so good. And I think, and going back to the medical side of that is that helps other people, because the first thing we do is kind of give up on ourselves. It's like, oh, I can't afford it. we talk about all the things we need for self care. But then when the money's not coming in, it's like, oh, I can't afford this anymore. It's seen as a luxury rather than a necessity. So if you have that insurance kick in, then that makes it easier for you to pursue getting those massages and stuff that you probably really need anyway.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
Because that is the
Mhm.
issue. Same with training, same with the nutrition.
Mhm.
Even though these things
Mhm.
are, it says it's non-essential business, but to me, it's very essential because
Right.
you are what you eat. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the movement is important. Fresh air is important when you get out. You get outside, and then also,
Mhm.
like I said, activating your lymphatic system, which is through movement, manipulation, through massage and stretching like that. That's important. And those are one of the
Mhm.
first things we cut out.
Yeah, so true. Now, so what are some things that we can actually get started with, from the comforts of our own home?
Hmm.
We may not have the ability to have a mobile spa come in,
Hmm.
but what are some things that we should start doing? So if we do notice, yeah, we have been sitting around a little bit more, are there massages we can give ourselves or certain areas we should focus on in order to maintain a level of, health consciousness until things get a little bit more better and maybe they can afford, more investment of different type of massages and things of that nature.
Okay, absolutely. The first thing I would say, and I'll just name three because I can be long winded.
Okay.
The first thing I would say is definitely start with your nutrition because
Okay.
most everything starts with nutrition when it comes to
Mhm.
taking better care of your body. I mean, even with training, 70% of your results come from nutrition. And
Mm.
when I bodybuild, I broke my body down every day, six days a week, really. Rested on the seventh day, but
Mm.
I would look predominantly the same until I put the nutrition on top of it. When I put the nutrition on top of it, then everything starts, coming in the order. My body fat stopped dropping, and I would diet all the way, literally, until I got on stage. That's how important nutrition was. So I would say start
Wow.
with nutrition. Shoot, I got my daughter on it right now. We're starting with a detox. That's the first thing
Mhm.
you do. Do some type of detoxification to prepare
Mhm.
your body to absorb the nutrients because it's pointless
Mm.
um, to put a diet on top of that and your body's not clean because most people's systems are uh,
Mm.
I'll say dirty. Okay.
Mhm.
So when and
Mhm.
but your absorption comes into in your intestines, so your intestines are dirty. You're not absorbing the nutrients that you need to. So I would say start
Mm.
a detoxing diet for 7 to 14 days. And then
Mhm.
after that, then start eating healthy. And your body everybody know what eating healthy is. We just don't want to do
Mhm.
it. So just start
Mhm.
eating healthy. It doesn't have to be anything, extreme like a bodybuilder's diet, but just start eating healthy because it may seem little, but those pennies add up. You keep dropping pennies in
Right.
a jar. By the end of the year, you got some cash, right? So the same
So true.
with your nutrition. So that's number one. Um,
Now let me ask you this before you go on. So when
uh-huh.
you detox, talk to us about what to expect during a detox. Because some people are like, oh, you know what? My stomach was hurting and I just wasn't feeling right. I don't think that detox worked or it wasn't for me. So people talk about certain things that happen during that detox process and what's the best way to detox?
Okay, the best way to detox, and I know what you're referring to, and
Mhm.
a lot of people take harsh laxatives or something of that nature. And heavy senna, cascara sagrada, excuse me. Those are
Mhm.
natural herbs that everybody bodies can't really tolerate. And you do not
Mhm.
have to do those herbs in that big of a proportion to detox. That's a
Mhm.
that's a misconception. What you can
Mhm.
do is you can eat foods that you know that will produce the same results. For
Okay.
instance, beets, prunes, any kind of legumes, especially like your pinto beans, things like that. You can
Mhm.
start with that because it's going to get
Mhm.
you the fiber. It's going to fill you, and then your system is start going to slowly start to move. So,
Mm.
they also have like cleansing teas too. But if you are
Mhm.
going to do those type of herbs, I would say you always start with a half a dose to see how your body tolerates it.
Okay.
Then, as your body tolerates it, you go from there. I wouldn't start
Okay.
off with a full dose like right away.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, and so how are we feeling during this? Because some people are like, "Hey, I don't feel right," when it goes through the detox. I've just heard people say different things.
That's true. Some people feel very energetic. I remember when I got my colon therapy for the first time. I
Mhm.
felt super energetic. I was like, wow, this worked. Got rid of my allergies
Mhm.
and all that stuff. And then I heard other
Mm.
people say what you say, like, oh, I feel like crap. But what's going
Mhm.
on is you keep pressing forward because
Mhm.
what's happening is that's how toxic your body is. So it's pulling up
Mhm.
all these toxins and you're having a cleansing reaction. Again, pull back on it a
Mm.
little bit, but still keep going forward because that reaction, that toxic feeling that you're having is going to pass eventually.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we good with that. So number one is nutrition. Okay. Number two.
Two is get moving. You can do like stretches in your home. Dynamic
Mhm.
stretches is when you bring your body through a range of motion. So like something like kicking your leg up or something like that. That'll warm
Mm.
the body up, and then you can do static stretches, and that's where you kind of like reach over, like and just stand still. So static is when you're
Mhm.
standing still in a stretch. Dynamic is when you're swinging your body through a stretch. So you can do
Okay.
those. That will get your body moving. If you have one of those stability balls, that real huge
Mhm.
ball they use in pregnancy sometime,
Mhm.
or a trampoline, those are good too because the bouncing motion. Remember, I talked about that lymphatic system and getting your lymphatic system moving. That's
Mhm.
very good for getting your lymphatic system moving. So that's going to help flush some of the waste out as well. So
Okay.
those some of the things you can do for movement um, to start off. And the last thing I
Okay.
would say is you with the massage, you can do self
Okay.
massage. They have they call it a myofascial roller. It's this big
Mhm.
foam roller. I don't know if you've seen those, but
Mhm.
those are very good. One is going to stretch out the fascia, which tends to get stuck to the muscle when you're not moving, and if you're
Oh.
dehydrated. So you can roll that out, and that'd be like a self massage too. So those are what I
Mm.
would recommend.
Sounds good. That's some good stuff. Okay. And let's see. So for you mentioned having the courage and just being obedient when it comes to, reinventing yourself, doing this idea in the middle of a pandemic. So there's a lot of people who are in your shoes. It may not be massages, but it's just like that whole thing of reinventing themselves during a time when things just don't look too certain. So, what advice would you give them about moving forward during this time of a pandemic?
Um, I would say again, work in your calling. It's a lot of things. To me, this is the time um, where we can use to kind of pull back,
Mhm.
reflect, work on
Mhm.
some things that we've been putting off because we've been so busy and caught up in the rat race. Right? Now
Mhm.
you have more quiet time. You can utilize that time. It's like, you know what? I, that business that I wanted to start 10 years ago, let me start writing my business plan on it.
Mhm.
This book that I was about to write and I put off, let me just write a few minutes a day on it. Now you have the
Mhm.
time to do those things, like I said, you normally wouldn't do, or you're too burnt out to do, from
Mhm.
being in the rat race. So I say just utilize your time. That's what I
Mhm.
would say.
That's good. Now, and then what things have you accomplished during this pandemic that you kind of want to keep up with? You know, 'cause so like you mentioned a number of things when it comes to the noise, the busyness that, has really just been put at a standstill, but there is a day that, things will go back to some kind of normalcy.
Hmm.
Not sure when, because we can just look at the history and see that, hey, we had Spanish flu and some of these other things, and we survived, and now, we're back into this standstill today. But what things do you want to continue to keep doing that you've now had the time to do that when things go back to normal, you want to maintain?
Well, I just want to keep working on and expanding my brick and mortar place that I am
Mhm.
now with the massage. I would have never done that,
Mhm.
because I,
Mhm.
again, was too busy. So I explored.
Mhm.
I got back from Dallas, went down there to look at a franchise and take
Mm.
that over. So this business things that I wanted to do that I put off, I started just working a little bit more diligently on that,
Mhm.
and then looking more into investing too. That was something I did when I
Mhm.
was younger that actually helped me retire at a young age. I'm not retired anymore, by the way. Hey, divorce and
Uh,
other losing stuff, I went through a very big series of loss, and that's what I mean by courage.
okay.
I still was able
Mhm.
to push forward because I really believe in Black enterprise and Black
Mhm.
entrepreneurship, especially in this time, because in this time, you couldn't rely then. Times are changing.
Mhm.
Not in that
Mhm.
an industrial age anymore. We're in an informational age. Times are
Yeah.
changing. You cannot rely on a 9 to 5 and think that's going to get
Mhm.
through. They'll give you the pink slip in a minute.
Mhm.
Pension may be gone, so you have to kind of think smart and have multiple streams of income. So
So true.
that's what I'm doing currently to keep
Yeah.
moving forward.
I sure, hey, I definitely agree with that. It's like, that's even symbolic of the different social media platforms. I just give people that example. It's like, you don't understand what I'm saying. Just think about if you're only on Facebook doing all your business, Facebook shuts down, which it has done
Hmm.
within the last 6 months or so, right? And then there's all your business, and you're not on any other platform. So people need to be thinking broader about, having this space of being, and it's not like you're trying to be all things to all people. It's
Right.
just like you have different locations. It's like a McDonald's. You can have one McDonald's. If something goes wrong, there's a storm, you got to evacuate. You're not going to make any money. But if you have 12 or 13 different locations, and like you say, with a franchise, you go into different states. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I
So
do.
we got to have that mindset. It's just a different location with the same service.
Yes, we just
Mhm.
can't depend on people to hand us something. We can't depend on the government to take care
Mhm.
of us. We can't depend on the job to take care of us. That
Mhm.
energy that you sow into something else, and I'm not saying disregard your job, but that's
Right.
energy that you put into that. Why not invest that into yourself and your legacy? That's what we need to do more of. That's why I like your platform, Lachelle, and I was excited
Mhm.
to be on your show and get a chance to know more about you, because I like the things that you're doing. I think it's very needed,
Mhm.
especially in this time,
Mhm.
because we need to pull together and
Mhm.
and keep our dollars circulating within, so that we can build
Mhm.
some wealth, because resources is important. Without resources, you
Right.
will not have opportunity and the freedom to even venture out or do something more expansive. We need
Right.
that in our communities right now.
Yeah. Very true. Definitely true. And it changes your mindset.
It,
If you feel like you don't have anything, you are going to be thinking gloom and doom every time somebody talks to you, you know?
right.
So that is so true. Well, this has just been very informative. I'm really glad that we met. So you actually are in the Atlanta area, right?
I am in the East Metro part, so I'm in Snellville. My
Oh, okay.
my business is in the Stone Mountain Lilburn area.
Okay, because I'm in Stockbridge. So,
Yes.
yeah, when things get a little better, then hopefully we can meet and have lunch or something.
That would be great, Lachelle. I would love to meet you. If you
Yes.
have time.
Hey, I do. Look,
For
anytime I can get away, look, I am running. Okay, it's so funny because I used to be, oh, I feel bad. I don't want to leave the kids. Now it's like, hey, somebody call me somewhere, I am there. If it wasn't for this pandemic, right? My
yeah,
mom is like, oh, I want to visit her. She's in Indiana. But yeah, I just, certain things, is just for a season. So you got to
that's
be
right.
obedient in that season, and then everything will pass. So that's just my mindset about that. But yeah, I've
Absolutely.
been zooming and doing everything, okay, to have my time to myself.
You doing it too. You got to give me some tips. Yeah,
I know.
for me, I need to interview you.
Well, I would love anytime, anytime. That is so true. But so what is the best way for everybody to get a hold of you?
You can my Facebook page is Consuela
Mhm.
Whitfield. You can get
Mhm.
hold of me right there. And Whitfield is Whitfield. A lot of people uh, put Whitefield, but it's
Okay.
yeah. So you can reach me there. I'm also on Instagram at C
Mhm.
Whitfit. That's Whitfit.
Okay.
On Instagram, my website is www.atlmobilemedspa.com. Those are ways you
Okay.
can reach me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again. And I am looking forward to hearing some more great things. I just love it that, I can really resonate with moving forward during the pandemic. I know there's so many things that I've been called to do, and I'm like, Lord, am I hearing you right? And it works out. It's like, now, why am I questioning the maker of the entire universe? But we go through that, right?
Yes, absolutely. You're like, are you sure about that? Absolutely. So I thank you
Yeah.
for having me on your show. It's been an honor. And I
Mhm.
just wish you much blessings. And I know you're going to do your thing.
Oh, well, thank you so much, and we will speak soon. Okay.
Okay, then. You be blessed.
All right. You have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on this episode. I really enjoy providing content that inspires and challenges us to be a better version of ourselves. If you are interested in being a guest on the show, please email me at info@lachelleatkins.com. You can also reach out to me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, or my YouTube channel. If there was something in this episode that resonated with you, it probably will resonate with someone else. So please share it. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. But those aha moments, those moments of really getting something and changing your perspective are very, very pivotal in having people change the trajectory of their lives. And so being able to share insightful information so that other people can grow is the easiest thing that we can do as we pay it forward. So, again, I want to thank you all for listening. And if you have time, write out a review. Go to iTunes, Anchor, wherever you can find this podcast on any of those platforms and write a review about what impact this episode had on you, what you learned, or whatever. Any feedback is great because it just helps me to understand what content is really beneficial for those that are listening. So again, I want to thank you all for your support and taking the time to spend some time with me and my guests. And I wish you a wonderful day. Thanks for listening.